Why?
You upset, buddy?
Are you okay? You there? You okay? You okay, big guy? Need a sandwich? You doing okay? Little hurt feelings there? You doing okay?
What in the world is going on? I'm sorry for people who listen to the podcast. There's a silence because for once in a million years, I don't know what to say. But on this show, we are fresh off of Elimination Chamber. We are fresh off of Monday Night Raw on Netflix, and we have a lot to dive into because, ladies and gentlemen, unless you've been living under a freaking rock, John Cena has turned heel. We're going to talk about all that, including all the signs that might have led up to this, that they may have been telling us the entire time. Not to mention, we're going to review Elimination Chamber and everything that went down, including a hot start with Jade Cargill returning. And we're going to continue to go down that road as we talk about the relationship between Seth Rollins and CM Punk and how it spilled over to Monday Night Raw with CM Punk starting off Monday Night Raw in very CM Punk fashion. I feel like Triple H was listening to me last week when I told him my unpopular opinion about the show not being as fun as WCW, because definitely it was last week. And we have a new women's world champion. It's a lot going on. We're supposed to be the goddamn road to WrestleMania. I can't keep up. Triple H is stumping us. Brother Guy, you look just as confused as I do. I don't got time for it. Let's get the show started.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes!
Wrestling Realm Now podcast, where we take a deeper dive into the world of professional wrestling. Now, I am your host, the realness himself, the big man, the real Dwayne Allen in the building, and he is your host, conspicuous by his absence, Brother Hugh, super producer, has a third, A to the A to the S, E to the H to the E, 3 to the R to the D. He's not in the building, he's under the weather, but it's okay. And he is your host, not just any guy, but the Belt King himself, Brandon the Guy in the building tonight. And he is your host, the creator, the heart and soul, the reason why we have the show today in 2025. And I just forget it. The reason, the man behind the brand. I'm sorry, I went over. Still, and once again in 2025, Mr. Still Your Goddamn Show.
Hollywood.
Brian H. Waters. Yeah, I started laughing when he raised the mug. Sorry. And welcome to the Wrestling Realm Now podcast. Now we're here, and we are here in true fashion, in true wrestling fan fashion. Because what does that mean? That means we're going to talk a little bit of wrestling. That's what we do each and every week when we show up. And I know that you guys show up to hear us have these conversations because we try to make them as thought-provoking as possible. And we are on this road to WrestleMania. And don't get nervous because I sound somber, because I feel stumped and deceived. We are supposed to be excited and ready to go, but it's a lot going on. But don't worry, we're going to talk about all that and more, not to mention this is our Unpopular Opinion Week. So, oh boy. But before we get into that, if you are not familiar with the latest, the greatest, the newest show to the Wrestling Realm, championships everywhere, belts everywhere, embodied communities everywhere. Also found every Tuesday at 8 p.m. on youtube.com/Wrestling Realm. Championship culture well into season 3. So, of course, if you know when you hear this intro, you know what time it is. Yes, season 3 of Championship Culture is well underway. Every Tuesday at 8 p.m., you can catch Championship Culture with Brandon the Guy, super producer, has the third. And let's talk about what this week's episode was all about. Brother Guy.
But this week's episode was a break. I think we just had too much wrestling and too many things that happened. But I'm gonna say this: season 3 has 21 episodes under his belt. 21 episodes in season 3. Few more to go to finish off season 3, but I can tell you this: we might have took a break this week, but next week I'm gonna give you a hint, realness. And I wonder if you're gonna know what I'm gonna say. Next week we'll be saying thank you. Let's see if you can pick up on the clues.
All right, hold on. I'm not, listen to me. I used to be good at picking up on clues, just not so much anymore. I don't even know. Let me see. Thank you, Trish. Oh yeah, he's got a new belt. The guy has ordered that Trish Stratus championship signature belt. And it's going to be an unboxing video. Great, I'm looking forward to
it. First off, it would be a box behind me, so that's the first problem. Second off,
see, I told you, I'm not good at this anymore. It's okay though.
No, Triple H has really made us think things through differently.
I feel like Triple H has broken me as a wrestling fan. We're going to have that conversation, brother.
Yes, we are, because listen.
Yeah, trust me. Don't worry.
I'll tell you right now, when it comes to the prediction for WrestleMania show, when it comes to prediction, I'm saying, nope, I'm out. I'm going to say, you're your own. We got to stop doing
prediction shows. This isn't, but if you want to catch the previous episode of Championship Culture, head to our YouTube channel, playlist Championship Culture on youtube.com/The Wrestling Realm. Go back and watch all 20 episodes currently of season 3, and then go back and watch all of season 2, season 1, and of course all the bonus episodes. But trust me, when I found out that there was no episode of Championship Culture yesterday, I was like,
no, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
But I feel better because next week they will be back and in full force. But moving on. Every week we do we do an alternating segment. It's not collapsing, it's alternating. 2 segments known as Wrestling Realm Facts and Unpopular Opinion. Now, what is Unpopular Opinion? What is Wrestling Realm Facts? It's a chance for the listeners to get a better idea of what type of wrestling fans the hosts are. You can get to know the host and see which one you relate to the most. So we decided to be a little bit transparent and relate to the folks so they can get to know us just a tad bit better. And this week, it is our Unpopular Opinion segment. Now, I got to have some type of negative sound effect every time this comes up, because this has been quite the doozy.
Right. The thing
Bingo.
Fall off the mountain.
That sound effect might show up next week. I hope we don't get flagged for it. I got to check. So this week is our Unpopular Opinion segment, where each of the hosts give an unpopular opinion, and guess what? You just have to deal with it. There's no arguing. There's no going back and forth. You just have to sit there and deal with it. So let's get this show on the road. Gentlemen, are you prepared for this week's segment of Unpopular Opinion? Are you ready to give the world a dose of what you may feel may be an unpopular opinion to the majority audience? You guys ready for this?
Absolutely.
All right, brother guy, since you spoke first, you're going first. You ready?
All right. Yes.
So we're about to get into it. This week's unpopular opinion from Brandon the Guy. Guy is, drum roll please,
Guy Ranger should have been the second season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Wait, what?
That took an
realness got the reference. No, okay, I'm serious. Here, seriously.
You know the crazy part is though? I do not agree, and I had to stop myself because I was still playing by the rules, even though you didn't use a wrestling reference. I'm like, do I have to follow the rules in this situation?
All right, here's my wrestling one. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
It is, of course, it's belt related. The IWGP version 4 is the best looking world title, period.
Ooh, it's quite debatable. Wow. And I do not agree that Die Rider should have not been the second season of Power Rangers. Sorry, I just had to put that in.
You can debate that one. That's why I threw it out there.
That's what I thought about. I had to say
when Tommy came back as the White Ranger, that belongs to a different set of Power Rangers. But Saban didn't want to mess up the color scheme and mess up his money, so he just sliced 2 different seasons together to keep the original Power Ranger sets. But it was a whole different set that they belonged to.
Wait. Okay. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
ready?
the White Ranger doesn't belong to that set of Power Rangers.
So
The Green Ranger does.
So imagine the White Ranger, right? Power Rangers,
Mhm.
and the rest of the Rangers have similar suits to his, rather than
I'm
the
about to send
original
it to him.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers that we. That's what was supposed to be the season after
Power Rangers.
at the Zoo Ranger, the Japanese Super Sentai.
So I gotta go back and watch it through the seasons.
Yeah, because you'll see, like, and this is how it's weird.
In
'Cause his
Japan,
suit-
every season it was a different set of Rangers. Versus, we grew up, it was a continuation for a long time. So
Yeah.
like the Alien Rangers are a separate season of Power Rangers. That wasn't just that was just us being lazy. Well, I shouldn't say us.
I like this. I like that season. That's okay. We get people a little bit of Super Sentai information while they're watching some pro wrestling. Look, Brian's just trying to clip it off of me singing Kakurenja.
He definitely is. He is
Trying to make sure these time codes right.
It's all good. Brian H, do you want to go last as far as your unpopular opinion? You want me to go next?
You know what? You can go next.
You sure? Okay. All right. So my unpopular opinion for this week. You guys ready? Drum roll, please. It's not going to be that feisty, but it's how I feel. Rhino's career in TNA was bigger and better than anything he did in ECW and WWE combined. Damn, I said it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Not illegal drugs. Not illegal drugs though. So there you have it.
He's not wrong.
Excuse me.
He's not wrong. I mean,
That's
he's
my
not wrong.
that is
He's
my
not wrong.
unpopular
That's not
opinion.
unpopular. That's,
I'm just saying.
we said unpopular, not facts. I'm sorry.
So
Well,
there
he
you
was
go.
hard. So when he was Rhino in TNA, it's spelled with an I, right?
Yes, because I think WWE owned the ECW trademark of the way they spelled it with a Y. Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
So you ready?
Yep.
Hollywood. You're on the clock. Are you ready to give the world your unpopular opinion for this week?
Yep.
Here we go. Drum roll, please.
Evolution's music is better than the group as a whole.
Ouch. Hollywood. See, this is when I knew John Cena was going to turn heel. When Brian Nate's turned heel, I never thought. Okay, leave it alone. Wow.
Just keep going on this stuff.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are our unpopular opinions for the week. I cannot wait until Brian Nate's post these to social. What we got to say. So,
I'm waiting for him to check his phone so he can see the pictures. He was like,
my
I
goodness.
see what that is.
please, in the comments, in all the sections, wherever you see this show, please give us your unpopular opinions, and we will acknowledge you. And we'll just have to deal with it like we have to deal with it on this show. So next week, Wrestling Wrong Facts will return. And hopefully, like I said, back to a much more positive outlook. But there you have it. You want to get to know us, and some of our unpopular opinions and some of our wrestling wrong facts. This is one of my
you didn't
favorite.
let Hugh give his. You didn't do. You didn't read Hughes.
Brother, I don't know if he said anything. He said he was under the weather today. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to force him to be on the show.
Okay, because I was gonna say he did send one in.
Oh, he did. So he did send one in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, go ahead. Let's hold on.
Let me read it.
Yeah, let's give him a drum roll. So this is Brother Hugh is absent from tonight. He's a little under the weather, but he did send in his unpopular opinion. I didn't know that. So here we go.
Yeah.
Drum roll, please. Brother Guy, can you give us, Brother Hugh's unpopular opinion for the week?
Yes. Snakeskin backing on a belt is the best backing ever.
What?
Ooh, okay. That's a that's a very championship culture thing to do. So there you have it.
Yep.
That is
He said snakeskin specifically, and he referenced Stone Cold rattlesnake. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So
That's-
snakeskin backing on a belt is better than any other backing.
Yep, is the
Yeah,
best
see?
backing. It's
That's
the
what
best
he's-
backing.
Yep. See, it's gonna cause problems, but it's okay.
Yep.
Look, Brian has a response and he can't do anything about it. You just got to sit there and take it.
No, I'm just trying to make sure I understand this right, so that I can,
Yeah. So it's better than leather, better than the red croc skin from the World Heavyweight Championship that Christian held. All
He
that.
said the snakeskin. Snake skin specifically, because he's on his rattlesnake kick right now because of the threat of him going to WrestleMania. So
we're gonna
he's
talk about
appreciating
all that.
Stone Cold right now. Yeah, he's appreciating Stone Cold right now.
Well, okay, well, we're gonna get into all that more. Like I said, we're gonna get into the main event of our show is John Cena turning heel. We got to talk about this. 20 years in the making, right? John Cena finally turns heel. Why did he do it? Where did this come from? And where is this headed? And how do we walk into WrestleMania? Because if we needed to sell WrestleMania at Elimination Chamber, I think they did a pretty solid job of that. But before we get into that, we have to talk about these segments that we do every week. Wrestling Realm Facts, Unpopular Opinion. We had a very, very, very special Wrestling Realm Facts last week. It queued up some music and some dancing, and we might have got flagged for it on YouTube, but it was okay. It's because last week, Brian H. and the rest of the fellows, the Wrestling Realm Fact question of the week was, who was your very first wrestling crush? Huh? Your very first wrestling crush. And Brian H. gave us a particular answer. And by George, if we didn't speak this into existence, because most recently, a new movie has officially debuted, known as Queen of the Ring, the true story about Mildred Burke, a true pioneer in women's wrestling. And we briefly mentioned Mildred Burke a few weeks ago during our Black History Month back when we talked about our favorite three sisters who paved the way as far the African American community who had a chance to work with Mildred Burke and sold out some I believe Kansas City. So we're going to talk about that movie. Why are we talking about that movie? Because guess what? Brian H. was there. Brian H. You got some explaining to do. Look who Brian H. ran into at the premiere of Queen of the Ring, fresh off of Wrestling Realm Facts, when he let the world know his very first wrestling crush was Miss Alundra Blayze. Brian H. Talk about Queen of the Ring. Talk about this premiere. Talk about running into your very first wrestling crush live in a living color just a few days after you've confessed your original love for her on Wrestling Realm Facts.
And that is not a Photoshop picture, ladies and gentlemen.
Nah,
that is real.
I mean, she was definitely full of energy. As you can see, she appreciates, I told her she was a pioneer. I think the coolest thing is that people don't realize it's not the bridge that she is. June Byers is in the movie. And Alundra Blayze wrestled Fabulous Moolah, who wrestled June Byers. So she's like that bridge. And, she's been in, I believe she was in one of the Royal Rumbles. If I'm not mistaken, who's mixed it up with this generation. So she's like, in all honesty, walking history, right? But the overall, everything was great. You look at like somebody like Jazz who was there. Jazz has always been great to us. And also, a true pioneer, somebody else who constantly gives back to this business. She has her school. I'm going to go ahead and put it like, I remember one day when shout out to Amber Rodriguez, she was working with Jazz, and then she texted me like, "Yo, I'm really having coffee with Jazz," and you just think about what she was willing to do, like somebody willing to house Amber and stuff and help her along career. You look at people like Roxanne Perez, Jordan Grace, all those people came up. So and then obviously Trish and Lita was there. Two incredible people. I mean, what can't you say? So it was a great night. Getting to see my forever crush in Trish Stratus, my first wrestling crush in Alundra Blayze, and my lady was two people like right next to me, and in this case, she the one who took this photo. So I ain't had to have those problems. So it was fun, and being able to say thank you, Trish, in person, and let her know I had the shirt. I even told her, I said, she bought it for me. She was like, oh, so you should be thanking her. So, that was an incredible moment. Just it's also, seeing Trinity or Naomi there sporting a very cool neck brace. I don't know if anybody saw it on social media. Jimmy Uso was there too, got to dap him up, and he even said, he was wearing a corduroy suit, and people was like, "Oh, you giving Seth Rollins a run for his money?" So he's like, "Let him know he can dress too." So it was a great night.
Okay, listen, I think the best part about the picture that you took with Trish and Lita was Brother Hugh asking, "Did they both smell like freshly picked strawberries?"
Oh my gosh!
And I was sitting there like, Brian H, answer the goddamn question. Well, do they?
I can't even remember. Things was moving so fast.
That's the first thing, Brother. You said, "Do they smell like freshly picked strawberries?" And I can verify to the word, Brian H. You said they did. So shout out to Trish and Lita. But for those that might have missed it, guess what? Brian H, in true Brian H fashion, we have a clip of his interview with his first wrestling crush. You don't want to miss this, with Miss Medusa, Miss Alundra Blayze herself. Let's take a listen.
When you won the title back, so you talk about just some of those matches real quick. Just, Bull Nakano, Aja Kong, yes, Bertha Faye, like those are my childhood. And I remember, you coming out there, SummerSlam, WrestleMania 10,
I thank God. The glamour girls. In fact, those girls there were all on like WrestleMania 1 and never got their flowers or anything like that, and I really hope that in my book, when I talk about all of that stuff, I want to bring that all forward and I want to tell the stories, the real stories from this golden era to the next era. It was wow.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was a clip. If you want to watch the rest of this clip, head over to our YouTube channel. The video is up, right, Brian H? It is currently up. Yes. So if you want to watch the full interview with Brian H and Medusa on her career, some of the things that her and Brian H discussed, as well as the movie Queen of the Ring, you should have asked, like, "Hey, so when are we getting an Alundra Blayze movie? Would that be cool?"
Yeah, like I said, things move so fast. I had thought about it.
It looked like it, brother. I can just watching that clip.
Because I had to put it right here. We amongst family. I split real estate. So some stuff on the Ringer.
Listen, that's a great way of putting it.
Hollywood. So make sure y'all go there, check it out. Check out the interview with Trish is on It's actually, you go on my Instagram at Brian H. Waters. I've collaborated with all of it, including excuse me, Emily Beck Rickards. So the person who played Mildred Burt. It was she was absolutely incredible, and I think we might get her in the ring. I asked her, did she get the wrestling bug? Yeah, oh boy. Sometimes people wrestle in these movies, and then boom, they're at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Speaking of WrestleMania,
oh boy, what are you watching? Okay, see you. Never mind.
I didn't watch NXT, and let me just say, this women's match.
There you go. The fact, people can't see you cheesing. I see all 32 of your teeth, so it must be something.
I mean,
I said no.
See, Brother Hugh not here, so I'm gonna just go ahead and say it.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's no reason to hate on Jada Parker and Kalani Jordan.
Wow.
I mean, these ladies are. When a match is good, when you can watch it on silent.
Yeah, no doubt.
If you watch a match on silent, it's all right. The late great Kobe Bryant. Well, people may remember this, maybe they don't. But Kobe was a movie buff, and he said he would watch the movie like a bunch of different ways. He watched it regular, then he would go back and pay attention to certain things in the movie. Then he would watch it on silent. Then he would just watch with just the sound on it, no movie, no video, so you can get all the elements. And sometimes commentators can hype up a match and sometimes tear it down. But most of the time, in WWE, you'll find they hype it up. But also when you don't hear the crowd, but you can see the emotions in the faces. This is the reason why I said this lady will be a main eventer one day. Now, the mocap, I don't know what she was doing on them shoulders, whoever was doing the mocap.
Wow.
Speaking of mocap, did get the chance to talk to Athena too, so stay tuned to see what project she got coming out, because we all know she's a huge gamer. So stay tuned for that.
Okay, definitely shout out to Athena,
Ring of Honor world champion.
I mean, might as well be. We're not going to get into that. That's because we're not going to say nothing negative about Ring of Honor. It doesn't matter. She's the world champion. She's come a long way. She's done so much, and she has so much more to do. So definitely, shout out to Athena. She's good people.
And they're on TV, like HBO, and come on, Tony.
Yeah, figure it out. Well, Amazon Prime, AEW is supposed to be on Amazon Prime soon. So we got some. We got to. It's not funny, brother guy. We got momentum. He just laughed at him. Anyway.
No,
It's
I'm
tough
laughing because I agree with you. I'm saying she should be. She should be on.
Get that
HBO Max.
Mercedes tweeted when somebody posted the photo with all the ladies, and Mercedes did the side eye like why she wasn't there. I'm pretty sure she probably had something to do. But either way, get this spicy.
Yeah, give us some content, AEW, for goodness sake. But it is time for us to start the show. So as usual, we're going to ask our co-hosts, Apollo Creed and Rocky Balboa. Please, gentlemen, help us start the show and ring the bell. Brought to you by nobody. Here we go.
Want to ring the bell? Ding, ding.
So there you have it. The bell has rung, and it's officially time for us to start the show. Every week, we do a segment called What Did You Watch? Where the brothers, we watch enough of professional wrestling, we watch content, we watch interviews, we watch everything to get our minds, our hearts, and our souls prepared to have this conversation on Wednesdays. But we all know what the heck we watched. So we're not going to waste any time. We're going to jump into What Did You Watch? And of course, it's the Elimination Chamber, it's Raw, and all the above. Brought to you by good friends at SeatGeek. If you're looking to purchase tickets to concerts, live shows, sporting events, and more, head over to SeatGeek.com where you can use our promo code Wrestling Realm for any one-time purchase of $50 or more. That's promo code Wrestling Realm on any one-time purchase of $50 or more. Good brothers, as usual, what did you watch? Let's not waste any time. We know what the heck we watch. But first, I have to talk about this. We're here to talk about John Cena turning heel. And of course, we're going to review Elimination Chamber. We're going to review CM Punk's outrageous start to Monday Night Raw, which I purposely enjoyed, which is a dusty start, not a dusty finish, as well as EO Sky win the World Championship, and so on and so forth. But this is about heels today. And we have our resident heel. We have Brian H. Waters. And I have to admit,
gotta be all that?
You're heel. Because and I'm gonna tell the people why. And I know we usually don't tell our personal business on the air, but you just said 10 minutes ago, we family on here. So now I'm like, okay, well, since we family, I'm gonna tell you when I knew that Brian H was gonna be a heel. We're gonna talk about John Cena, and maybe if there were signs or something, because I have some speculation. I got some clips and some stuff we got to look at and review. There's these little signs. I'm like, was he trying to tell us, or did he show us at some point he had the potential to be a heel? And I'm gonna get a little personal. I've known Brian H for a long time. I never thought Brian H would ever turn heel, right? So Brian H turning heel was almost as shocking as John Cena. But I'm gonna tell you, I noticed like a small sign. I said, "Ooh, that's kind of a heelish tactic." A couple years ago, Brian H was living at a house. He just came home from Connecticut, and I think we were about to shoot some Wrestling Realm content as usual. And my goddaughter, she comes downstairs. She had to be about 3, maybe about to turn 4, and she came down as usual to say goodnight to her daddy and her godfather. And they had in true Brian H fashion, they had a little impromptu wrestling match. And she kind of
forgot about this.
No, that's cool because I'll remind you. So I'm just sitting there. We're setting up. Either we were setting up or breaking down, one or the other. It probably was. I think we were just getting started because she was a baby. She was about 3, about to turn 4, maybe. And she was just going to bed. So she was coming in, and he was, "Oh, come on!" First of all, he baits her into the wrestling match. They lock up, and everything. So they start doing moves and stuff like that. And then she jumps on him, and she's smiling, having a good time, having a wrestling match with her daddy. And then I saw something that shocked me. I never thought I'd see this, but at that point, I should have known. Like that was very heelish, Brian. I never thought that would be you. So he gets her with a small package roll up, and he grabs her footy pajamas, and he holds the tights, and he covered her 1, 2. Now she was probably assuming that she was going to let him kick out. He rolled her up, and he pulled the footy pajamas, and he held the tights. 1, 2, 3. I said, And I was shocked. And she got up and she looked at him and she folded her arms and she stomped off and went up the stairs. I said, dang, Brian H., you ain't let her win? And he just laughed about it, kept it moving. I should have known then that you had, I should have known at that point that you had the capability of being a true heel. And that's young. And that's exactly how we got you today. Hollywood. Brian H. Waters, because that I should have known then. So I should have known then that if Brian H. could turn heel, because when you held the freaking onesie pajamas, when you hold the footy pajamas, I said, bro, he cheated. I said, you cheated. You didn't let her win. He rolled her up and he held the tights. 1, 2. She looked at him and she folded her arms and stomped her. I said, oh, you done made her upset. So I should have known then that at some point everybody's going to turn heel. Bradish, what do you have to say for yourself? Because this probably started with you years ago. I don't know. We're going to discuss it. We're going to figure this out. But I should have known then that you had heelish tactics in you.
Look, she had to learn. She had to learn.
At 3, though, come on.
Yeah.
She was still wearing footy pajamas, which means like it was nothing she could do about it. So if you held the footy pajamas, where was she going to go? You took advantage of the situation. That's cool though. But yeah. So we're here to talk about what did we watch? We know what the heck we watched. We watched Elimination Chamber. Oh my goodness. Good brothers. First and foremost. How did you guys feel about this year's Elimination Chamber? Let me preface this. We went into this whole situation like, what is this going to be? Are we expecting shenanigans? Is this going to lead us into WrestleMania? Because it didn't look like it was going to. But in actuality, we got something way more than we probably expected. So overall, before we get into the details about what the heck we saw, how did you guys feel about Elimination Chamber? Did it sell WrestleMania for you? Did it deliver?
It always does. I mean, when's the last time we really had a bad Elimination Chamber? When you really think about it, I mean, even during the pandemic, like the night when Drew won the title, I think, or he lost the title to the Miz, or Miz cashed in, and then next thing you know, here comes Bobby Lashley the next night. I think that was the same night like Daniel Bryan and Roman and whatnot. But think about that. I mean, just like here lately, they've been delivering. I think. Because the chamber, it's going to sell itself for the most part. So it made you say, all right, I think like, me, I always kept it, they'll figure it out. There's no way you gonna go in this WrestleMania lackluster after last year. I kept saying, I don't know if it was going to live up to last year. Now, I mean, last year's going to be hard to top, but at the same time, this one can stand on its own. You know what I mean? I think we went into like 30 was like, oh, how you gonna top WrestleMania? You can make the argument that did because the heist of the century was something we had never happened. We had waited for so long for somebody to cash in at Mania, and they finally did it. So I think it can happen.
You want to hear a hot take? I think we're on pace for this year's WrestleMania. It might outshine last year's WrestleMania. I don't know. What about you, bro? I don't know. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. I promise. Brother Guy, what did you feel about this year's Elimination Chamber overall?
I hate the fact that we have now been, I officially can say we've been deprogrammed. Because how do you have a whole pay-per-view without a single title match on it? And we care more about those 4 matches in that segment than we probably did anything else involving a championship, which is crazy because, before it was like, oh, you don't have this champion, you don't have this. Overall, I think it didn't set the stage for Mania. It set the stage for us to tune in to see what Mania is going to be. Because even the small things of Bianca Belair won, and she will face either, they even announced it, whoever wins this chamber will face either Rhea Ripley or Io Sky. And, old school way of thinking was like, it's going to be Rhea. But then it was like the shocker of Monday, and it's like, they were telling us, stop thinking that way. You never know what can happen. And everything that we predicted, I feel like we kind of got like quarter way right, all the way wrong. So overall, I enjoyed it. But I'm starting to believe that I can go back and watch these other, I don't want to call them B-level pay-per-views, but the non-Big Four pay-per-views and enjoy them just as much now than I could before. Some of these pay-per-views, like you don't remember Payback, you don't remember this, you don't remember that. But now it seems like in this era, we're kind of remembering it and like, oh, I do want to go back and watch that because it was such a good time. It was such a good match. It was such good moments. It was a lot of things that were done right.
Whew. Brother guy, I have not heard you talk this positive about professional wrestling, and I think ever. This is ridiculous. Like you are drinking the Kool-Aid. I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
I'm telling you, that Triple H stuff is getting to me.
It's getting to you. Listen,
Because you can just enjoy it. I think that's the good problem, that you can just enjoy it.
there you go. I think that's the bar
You
right
don't-
there.
And the thing is that I don't want to take too much. The reason
Sure.
you can enjoy it because I like unpredictable, but I love, like, it started off with the women, and I said the women are always going to be that match that's going to be, it's going to steal the show. I remember it, and the first 5 minutes stole the show, and they was like, well, how do you top that? Oh wait, okay, how do you top that? Okay, now wait again. I was like, every moment felt like, oh wow, I gotta watch wrestling now. I need to see where this is going to go.
Yeah.
So that's the feeling that I had after each match.
Well, speaking of the women, goodness gracious, Elimination Chamber didn't waste any time starting to show off hot. Is this a new Triple H way of doing things? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, this was completely unexpected for me. I did not see this coming. Now, I knew she was going to have some type of something, but to start the show off like this and then have Jade Cargill, first of all, she is just a statue of a woman. She comes out there and looking like Storm from X-Men. Like, I got to point that out every single time. And she absolutely obliterates one of the opponents in the Elimination Chamber. Not to mention, it is Naomi. So this is supposed to be the replacement tag partner that Bianca Belair chose, or was, kind of forced upon it, because Naomi kind of stepped up and said, I can do it. Only to find out that I think she might be the one that attacked Jade. Based off that attack, now Brian H said not to jump to conclusions. It was false accusations, but we also know that Brian H has bloodline ties. So you're a little bit biased. I don't trust you. But
Can I say something funny about this?
Sure.
I showed 2 women at my job this. I said, just watch this. I wanted to see what their reaction would be. Before Jade even threw a punch, when her music hit and they showed her, both of them said, oh my God, I need to go get in the gym. Why is she so gorgeous? Oh my God.
Wow.
That's so, oh, look. Oh my God. They were so amazed. It was like, is she like the biggest star in wrestling? They was like, look at her. And they were just amazed by her presence. And they were like, when they said, I need to get in the gym. And they were so funny. And then when they saw what she did, they said, oh, she's a bad, you know what? And it was like, oh, what did she do to her? What can you tell us the story? It was so funny because they got invested so fast. They said, why is she beat her up like that? Why is the one right there screaming? What is going on? Is it because she's wearing white? Like, they just kept coming to conclusion. I said, listen, you got to start watching wrestling.
He said, listen, you just
hold the
watching.
phone. Did you show them? You just showed them that part. You ain't show them all the entrances.
No, I just showed them that one.
I mean, they that Jade Cargill. Like, come on. They see Bianca Belair.
No, I want to see their reaction to.
I know, but the biggest, just the eye test of the biggest star in wrestling. Come on.
They were so in like awe. They were like, oh my God. But when they said, I got to get to the gym, that was the best part. I was like, oh, okay. So back to you, Realness.
No, listen to me. When if Jade has anything, Brian Nature, you know this. She has presence, and when she can't, when that light shines on her, you see that silhouette. You knew she was about to stand on business, and boy, did she! Henceforth, Trinity Fatu showing up at the movie premiere with a bedazzled neck brace to match her beautiful dress.
Getting beat up over something she didn't even do, man.
See, there you go. You sound like R-Truth speculation right now. You know how R-Truth said, let's not jump to conclusions about John Cena. Yeah. That's how you sound right now about Naomi. He said, wait. She literally said, I hate John Cena. He tweeted back to Brandy talking about, let's not jump to conclusions.
you know that part. You know that time Tupac got shot and then he looked up from the studio.
Let me see you make this connection. Go ahead. You just said
cut. Hey, you remember that time he looked up and who did he see walking out?
Yeah, he saw. Yep.
But they didn't do it.
We don't know that.
We don't. They said they didn't do it.
Yeah, they say a lot of things.
Yeah, true. I believe. Damn. I believe evidence showed that they was in the innocence.
I mean, look, we don't know.
How do we don't know? Jade was knocked out. How do we know?
She knows who attacked
She
her.
had to get knocked out. Yeah, she had to see who knocked her out.
Think about
Think
this.
about
As
this.
big as Jade is,
Uh-huh.
how in the world was Naomi gonna knock her out?
She didn't. Maybe she didn't. Maybe she pushed her off the ledge and she ended up hitting that
She hit her
car.
with
And
the
the car
rear view.
knocked her out.
She hit her with the rear view.
Hmm?
Okay.
She hit her
Well,
with the rear-
yeah.
If she wouldn't move,
She hit her
I
with the
mean,
rear view.
Think about
She
it.
not
Hit
If,
the rear view.
not if somebody you thought that was supposed to be your friend. Hey,
It's
girl.
unexpected.
Ow. Hey, girl.
maybe she was trying to show her a move or something.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
This is like she was knocked out. Maybe come on now.
Well, guess what? Guess who was knocked out? Naomi. She's not doing well.
I
So
don't
we
know.
got to figure out.
Now, I thought something was funny. People was reference. If you look, she can have your soul. And I don't think you can really see it here, but people was making references to Naomi's with the bandana lately, and we all know that's when she was team bad and she was a heel. I don't know, man. I saw
Beautiful and dangerous.
when I
This is-
watched her.
Uh-huh.
I just kept seeing like it felt like Jade was the heel in this whole situation. People gave that return pop we haven't seen, but then it's like, wait, you beat our beloved Naomi of all people?
It would be a massive heel turn if she finds out that she didn't do it. Like, oops, my bad. I thought it was you. I drank the Kool-Aid. People convinced me it was you, not just. I don't know. This is a tangled web that we weave, and I'm sure we're gonna figure this out a little bit closer to WrestleMania. But Bianca Belair did win. She was clearly distraught to start the match. It was nothing she can do in the pod to watch. To watch her and her two besties, her two tag team partners, end up going through what they went through, and she sold it very well. I was convinced, like, oh yeah, she's going through it, but she was able to pull it together to actually win, and she is heading to WrestleMania, to what we originally believed to face potentially Rhea Ripley, but we got to get to that a little bit later as well, because this road to WrestleMania is
and that's another one.
It's heating up, Brian H. What do you mean? It's another one?
I love me some Bianca Belair. Top 10 favorite wrestler of all time.
But
I'm not trusting this one. I don't care if any of you three good brothers, right? If y'all get attacked,
okay.
Am I doing press afterwards? Or let's just say Brother Hugh's on the shelf right now, right?
Okay.
Let's say Brother Guy put him on the shelf.
Okay.
You think I'm gonna be sitting up here? Yeah, I win this big match because I had to find my way to get refocused. But am I really doing a post-show interview afterwards? Am I showing up to Raw without having speaking to either one of them? Like, what's the deal?
So are you suggesting foul play, Brian H?
Bingo.
Okay.
I think Bianca probably put either two things. She turned them against each other so she could get back in the world title picture because she was tired of playing nice and being a tag team. Or she was tired of Jade and she, convinced Naomi to do it. Or Naomi convinced her. Either way, I don't think Bianca's innocent.
This is a very thing to say. But Brian H suspects foul play. Once again, more to come on this, but we got to move on because it was.
Let's just acknowledge these two black beautiful women, though.
Oh my goodness, you kidding me? I can only say it was so much in the moment, but
yeah, because you saw Montez Ford tweet, didn't you?
But yeah, there you go.
Public enemies ain't mean no harm. That's family over there. They was just asking a question.
He seemed like the kind of guy that gets mad about stuff like that. That's why I keep my comments to myself.
Yeah.
But the Elimination Chamber was filled with many stories, many things that happened, and we got to talk about our boys, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Oh my goodness, this is one of those matches that we knew that these two were going to go out and show off in their home country of Canada, in Toronto. Did this live up to the hype, good brothers? Now, I'm asking this because we've seen this 1,000 times. Now, I just saw a clip of when they did this maybe, 16 or 17 years ago when they both had no facial hair. It was way brutal than what we saw. But in 2025, in the WWE version, oh my gosh.
the metal pieces at each other. They went through ladders. It was, oh Lord, oh.
Let me go ahead and just say this first. I love the fact that when Kevin Owens showed up to the arena, the first thing you see is him looking. He's looking for metal pieces to put in his bag on the way to his locker room. He's Kevin Owens is the freaking man. But how did you guys enjoy Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn? Did it live up to the to what we expected? First, we knew they were gonna kill each other. You can tell they're best friends because best friends always beat each other up the worst. Look at Shawn Michaels and Triple H, and that in his first match back. Mm-hmm.
Let me say this about Kevin Owens, and I want everybody to understand this. Kevin Owens, by far, is probably the safest worker that WWE has right now.
You
The
think
way
so?
that he protected Sammy, and if you go back and watch the way that he protected Cody, I hope that man is okay because he took the brunt of all of them bumps and he kept going, and then he finished the match strong. He had a post match angle, and he keeps showing I'm okay. But he is probably, I give him hands down all the credit in the world because he did that match so well that you know he was more concerned about the other person than himself. And that's a true student of the game to say a pun. And that's probably why he keeps getting put in these situations because he is so safe. And that match, it showed that stipulations matter in WWE, but also we don't need blood to have a great match. So
True.
that's what else was good because I'm glad the stipulations mean something because I mean, if you're gonna do another one, the next thing would have to be Pajami Prison, Hell in a Cell, 3 stages with Triple Cage War Games Survivor Story match, all in one at this point. Because what else can they do to each other? I
True.
mean, whew, that I hope this chapter is closed for a little while, but we always get those two greats that can always come back together and give us a great match, and this is one of them.
You can never go wrong with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in any setting. But of course, the fun part was we got the return of Randy Orton. Randy Orton has shown back up. The only person just as sadistic and psycho as Kevin Owens. Like, as my grandmother would say, Randy Orton is time enough for Kevin Owens.
I haven't heard that on a podcast ever.
See, I told you. This is what we do. We're revolutionary. Yeah, he is time enough for his behind. He is time enough for his behind. But and the proof of it was Randy Orton tried to kick his face off. So I was like, yep, there it is. Randy's back. So here we go. We got and that's the one person Kevin Owens tiptoes around. He knows not to mess. Listen to me. He knows better. He can do all this stuff with Sammy and Cody. They're nice guys, but Randy Orton, he's like, oh,
Randy on a different level. He's like, oh shoot.
Let me.
But he wasn't backing down. He didn't back down.
No, he went for it, but he looked quite nervous when that music hit. But I'm happy to see Randy Orton back. Do you guys think we get Randy and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania? I don't know. I'm not even gonna try to speculate. I'm done. What'd you guys think about the chamber overall? The men's chamber was a little different. It's because I'm gonna tell you, they sold me the night before that everybody hated John Cena. Damian Priest hated Drew McIntyre, and we all know that that Seth Rollins and CM Punk hate each other. It's always on site, you know, in case you missed out on Monday Night Raw, which I think is absolutely hilarious. CM Punk knows how to sell a fight. He did wonders with Drew. He's going to do wonders with Seth Rollins. But as far as the chamber match itself, how did this measure up to previous Elimination Chambers matches? Did you see? Did you guys enjoy it? Did you have fun with the storytelling? Was it better? Was it not as good?
I enjoyed it.
It's like all the my fault.
I was gonna say I enjoyed it. It was, it was solid, and I think the biggest thing, like one of the gems, I was kind of glad to put the rest was CM Punk pinning Logan Paul because that's not a Mania match I want to see. And had it been the other way around, I could have easily seen us kind of getting there. But I also love just the camera angles. If
the
I watched this on,
like brother, he would say,
I watched this on replay, but had I not known Seth Rollins was eliminated already, I could have easily forgot about him. And then boom, he just pops up into the frame. So
I felt the same way.
Thing,
okay. What about you, brother guy? Okay. What about you, brother guy?
I love the fact that Chambers always spin out to, I don't know, I didn't know I wanted that match. And I think that's what we're about to get from this chamber. And I love the fact that Seth said, over my dead body will you made him at WrestleMania.
He meant it.
Seth has been living up to his words. He told Roman the next time I see him, I'm gonna stomp his head into the ground. And he said over his dead body. So he caused him that which I think was a great way to finish it off.
Mhm.
And I just feel like it's so many matches that still can happen from that whole mix up of what went down in the chamber. Because who did Damian Priest pin? hmm
Who did he
That's all I'm
pin?
gonna say.
Drew McIntyre.
He pinned
He got,
Drew. And remember,
oh
he
yeah,
was talking
got
all
him
that
on there.
trash, like, you're gonna complain about how you got screwed out in the chamber
Yeah,
next week. That was that whole promo he had. And I said that was perfect to have him. Because now I kind of want to see what they're gonna do. Because
bingo.
we keep getting matches with them, but now it seems like Damian keeps evolving or keeps moving up to give us something different every time he wrestles Drew. So I'm like, this could actually be pretty good.
That's what
I just
Triple
said
H
the other way.
does. He always takes one match and says, "Okay, cool. We're gonna build more than one story with this as we move forward." But yeah, I don't think anybody predicted. Real quick? Did anybody predict that John Cena might win this match? To me, it seemed like it was a ton of dark horses that could have easily walked away with this spot.
Yet
But did
again.
anybody see?
Nope.
Okay, so it's not just me. So John Cena did end up winning this match, but what happened after that? What kind of shock the world? It would take us into the main event of tonight's show. But of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about this. Tiffy and Trishy, sweet Lord, and then Nia and Candice LeRae. Were you happy to see? The people can hear you making noises, Brian. Hear what he said?
No. I gotta say this.
Yes, sir.
A little disappointed in Toronto.
Okay, I get that. Yeah.
You know, I know The Rock said, it's a heel town. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I'm a Toronto historian. I do remember when the NBA All-Star game was there, a lot of people complained how cold it was. But I'm like, I didn't get the pop I was expecting for the greatest women's wrestler of all time. She comes out there, people would seem like they was more into Trish. Now, in all fairness, we just came from an emotional women's Elimination Chamber match, so that match took you for a ride. So it probably was a bad spot in the card, but I was a little disappointed. But overall, I mean, I've been on this, saying with Tiffany Stratton, she been doing her thing, like
just getting a rocket strap to the moon, bro.
It's a reason, you know what I mean?
She's so young.
It sucks that the torch didn't go Mandy Rose to Tiffany Stratton.
You still hang on that one.
Well, just to be honest, like the aesthetics of it.
Yeah, that's really what this is about.
Right. But into the next chapter, because like at that time, I always felt like I was like, oh, Roxanne Perez, whoa, way too early. But Roxanne has since then bounced back. But I'm like, I see the reason like Tiffany is going into WrestleMania as the champion, and I'm saying she's going to leave WrestleMania as the champion. But overall, I thought this was a solid match, just a bad spot on the card at the end of the day. But somebody got to be second. And when you really think about it, which match was you going to put on second out of all the other ones?
Yeah, kind of. So it's almost, I don't want to say by default, but it's like, who wants to be the one to make that decision?
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense. And then we have the segment that shook the world. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. All I know is it ended like this. New modern day NWO. Look at this. This is ridiculous. John Cena, Travis Scott, The Rock, making their presence felt. Final boss. I don't think you can't convince me. Brian is going to try to. I know he's going to try to say, oh, yeah, I saw it coming the entire time. I did not see this coming. So let's set the tone for what we saw. Let's see if we can get down this timeline and see where we are with all this.
Did y'all watch this live?
I watched it live.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did you not watch this live?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Oh, because we was texting like crazy.
Oh, listen.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't watching it live, the watch was in a whole different room.
Okay.
Because I was making sure when I saw Jade come out,
Mhm.
I said, "Uh-oh, put the phone down." So then I told Queen PR, I said, "Do not go on social media." So had a family party. Boom. And so afterwards, I'm like ready. So I'm so glad that I did that because it was one of those nights,
Mhm.
regardless of what, you knew this was just going to be one of those nights that you had to watch it when you watched it and not be ruined.
I don't even know where to begin.
Well, let's
So-
begin with this. I got a place that you can begin. And so
It's not funny. Look at that. It's terrible.
it is because it did exactly what we didn't know it was going to do. The
Mhm.
world is talking about this. The world is. I literally clicked on, like, I stayed off social media the next day, but on Monday, YouTube channels that do nothing with wrestling said John Cena this, the Daily Joe show with Jon Stewart compared it to the political climate right now.
Wow.
He literally showed the clip.
They found a
You,
way.
yes, you can't say Triple H didn't say, I'm going to get the world to talk about this. And what better way, even to the point that this man made wishes hours before the match.
It's not
And
funny.
those kids probably were still there.
I
You
hope
see the
not.
videos of kids throwing their action figures down the steps. You saw kids crying. He literally took the hero and said, come to the dark side. Yep.
John
It
Cena
was
turns heel. First of all, let me ask you this. And thank you, brother guy, for that. Let me ask you guys this question. Hold on, let me put myself in the big screen because Brian Ames hates it when I don't give myself a clip.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody see or imagine that John Cena would have in his last run an opportunity to finally be a heel? Now let me preface why I'm asking that. John Cena has moved on to acting. John Cena has taken his craft to the next level. I can only imagine how he felt not being able to reach that range of saying, like, I just need a chance to do this one time. We all know what happened with Rocky Maivia when he became The Rock, and he gave the Die Rocky Die promo. And that was only for a short amount of time. This is 20 plus years of people booing John Cena just because wrestling wasn't all that great as far as the majority. In our world, it was great, but not globally, not in the mainstream, right?
It was there yet, brother.
Nah, it was in and out. It was just us. It's just us, wrestling fans. But is this the right time? Is this what we need? It's John Cena's final run. He finally saying, you know what? After 20 years, I've done what's best for business. I want to be a bad guy. Is this what we needed from John Cena? Because you can't convince me that anybody saw this coming. And if you did, please tell me why.
All right.
Uh-oh, Brian is about to tackle it. Go ahead.
I saw it coming only because
No, you didn't. Time out. No, the heck you did not. So you told him time out. So on the record, in front of the world, you're telling me, Brian, that you had a feeling, or you even thought in your mind, you know what, it's a good chance John Cena might turn here. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, that would have never even crossed my mind. It would have been I didn't even think about it. It wasn't even an option. But you telling me,
really?
I'm telling you, I would have never even thought about it, bro.
I mean, because to be honest with you, we've been having this conversation on the Ring of Wrestling for the past like 2 weeks.
Okay.
The conversation was, isn't Cena kind of owed this like a chance to try out this heel thing? That was always like, well, what if he does do it? And then it was literally like the joke was like, okay, so what's the attire gonna look like? Maybe he'll do the gear, all disrespectful stuff, like, you know, I saw somebody put lazy betrayal and disrespect or something, right? So it was something crazy, but we talked about like with the gear, like maybe he'll wear it. Was like, well, he already wore the black jorts, so That was the conversation.
Got it.
I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, I knew this was going to happen when.
Mhm.
You know, I'm not going to say I called the Elimination Chamber. What I will say is this. Remember, I didn't watch it live.
Right.
So
Didn't
we're
watch it
sitting
live.
around the TV.
Mhm.
And as we're sitting around the TV, I said, why is Cena still in the ring?
So you got suspicious at that point.
As soon as he stayed in the ring. I mean, we've been watching wrestling long enough. And so I'm sitting there. I saw that. That was my biggest point. I also did feel like, again, part of me, when I saw him still sitting in the ring, another one of my thoughts was, dude, the babyface versus babyface days of WrestleMania, kind of a thing in the past. You know,
I mean, I felt the same way. I wasn't happy about it.
Thing in the past. So afterwards, I said, he won't. What? He's still in the ring. And you know why? It's because I still have PTS freaking D from SummerSlam 2013.
Sorry about that.
You know, it was the perfect
I know it still bothers you.
match, right? And I don't go back and look at it because every time I get ticked off, I only bought the DVD because one of the SummerSlam collection and because Daniel Bryan on record won the WWE Championship clean from John Cena.
Screwed.
That night at Loafers, I remember saying, why is he still in the freaking ring? Triple H said it.
It's all starting to come back to me.
Yeah. So when I saw that,
Mhm.
and then when he hugged him and he had that look, I said, oh yeah, it's coming. And The Rock, this time he did it with 2 fingers, not 3. Very weird. And the final boss, see, he really trying to make me go against what I've been saying.
Which is what?
Because Roman Reigns is the greatest superstar of all time.
Oh boy.
Because this final boss.
This is next level.
This final boss. He that so
he listen to me. And he does it so convincingly. There's not like he doesn't look like he's playing a character. That's why he is what he is. And then he's manipulative though.
Yes.
You want to talk about that? Because he gets to the press conference and goes, yeah, I'm DJ, I'm Dwayne, I'm playing this character, the final boss. Like, don't do that. You're trying to confuse the people. Like,
and you know what? I hate when people. I said this earlier. I hate when wrestler fans call him Dwayne. It's a pet peeve.
You don't know him personally. His name is The Rock.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, it's because most of the time when people do it, it's because they're trying to be like Punk, and they say it because they're mad that he come back and do something. I'm sorry. There was never ever a time I was gonna be upset at seeing The Rock on television. Like, do y'all forget we had so many years without this dude?
That's
like,
true.
come on now. You know?
That's like I would never call Triple H Paul. Cut it out.
Yes.
I don't care if I met a person. His name will always be Triple H. Oh, you can call me Paul. Listen, cut it out. Triple H.
Yeah, that's different because it depends on the nature of the conversation. But I understand where you're coming from. You know what I mean?
I will never have a wrestling conversation and refer to him as Paul. How about that? Is that better clarification?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, there we go. So yeah. Oh boy, brother guy, talk to the people. John Cena turning heel. Was now the right time? Did you see this coming?
So, I've been saying all year, well, since he said his retirement tour, he's got to get all the way to the end because the money's in the chase. They just proved us wrong by saying, no, the money's in the heel turn because we all felt something was off with that promo because he said, I'm not taking any questions. I earned this spot. I'm going to get number 17. I'm going to do this. This was not hustle, loyalty, respect. This was, I'm calling my shot and I'm going to do it. It was so eerie because it was like, I'm pissed. I'm angry. I didn't win the Rumble because that wasn't best for business because I had to let Jay win. That's what he said without saying it.
He was being nice about it, but he wasn't happy though.
Yeah, he could. He was like, so I'm gonna go film this movie and I'll be back in time for Elimination Chamber where I will win and I will win number 17. That that still didn't sit right with me, but because it's been Fruity Pebbles John Cena for so long, like people forget his heel run at the beginning because his face run absorbed so much of that we forget.
Like
And
Majin Buu.
right, like nobody remembers this bitch ergonomics, They
That,
forget when
that
he was wearing the
that's almost like
jersey
a
to get
joke
heat.
compared to anything now.
Right. So granted, like where Hollywood said he was in the ring, I'm like, oh, because that's his WrestleMania opponent. He got to do the point. He never did the point. We got to get the point out of it, right? Or oh, he's going to help The Rock when somebody comes, hit Kaleo or somebody. I'm sitting here, every scenario in my head, going through my mind, like, all right, The Rock got to formulate this tribe. But then I was like, you know what? Triple H has been around, and I think that he's going to play this game of Cody beat Roman.
Mhm.
John Cena could never beat Roman, but I can beat Cody, so Roman can defeat me. Because I think Roman's rise is going to be better than Cody's fall.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. There's a lot going on in that situation. So
And
let's
he put the date on the oh my, every time I see that, I'm like, that's some heel tactics right there.
yeah,
He
he's a
put
jump.
Dusty's, yeah, and then something else. John Cena played heels in movies, and he didn't do bad with them. So this might be just saying him leading into his acting when he learned in Hollywood. And he said he was close to turning heel. We're probably gonna get that song that he never released.
I don't think you. We'll get in that. We're gonna wrap this up really, really quick because we got some great questions to figure out. One, where do we go now? Like, what does a heel John Cena look like, right? As well as where does this lead to WrestleMania and post WrestleMania? But before we get to that point, let's look at some of the signs. I'm wondering now, right? I'm saying to myself, okay, is this something they just decided to do? Or was this the plan the entire time? Had they been telling us real cryptically, really left brainish, that this John Cena heel turn was on his way and we just didn't see the signs? Because I don't know what you call it. It's almost like subliminal messaging. And it's something that WWE has been adopting lately, where they've been telling us things without us knowing that they've been telling us things. And it's like, how long has this been going on? So I saw some memes and some pictures on social media, and I was like, let's I can't wait to get on the show. Let's get on the show and see if we can break down some of these moments that may or may not have potentially told us, because we saw some of these things and we were like, that was kind of random and awkward, but it didn't make any sense at the time, so we didn't pay it any mind, right? Triple H has bragged about having like 2 years of wrestling in advance already written out and stuff like that. We were like, there's no way in the world you can do that. But now I'm starting to speculate that he might be onto something. So let's look at some potential signs that may have shown us that heel John Cena was on his way and we had no idea. So let's look at the first thing. When The Rock came back out after Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns had their match together, and it kind of set the tone for the relationship between The Rock, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns. And The Rock came out there and he put up 3 fingers. He put up 1, he put up 2, he put up 3, and then he does a little neck thing. He pretty much said that, and that was it. And he walked out. And Cody Rhodes looked at Roman Reigns like he was confused, like, who's he talking to? What's he got going on? Right? And Roman just kind of stared at The Rock, not really acknowledging what he's doing or saying, but I don't know. Maybe he knew something that we didn't know. Right? And now somebody goes, well, what if he put up the 1, he put up the 2, he put up the 3? What if that was always hustle, loyalty, respect? And then he did the throat gesture. Was that a foretelling of what was to come? I don't know. Okay, so you say, okay, well, that's why that was. Maybe that was him telling us then this guy's coming. Okay, Roman didn't get the job done, so Rock was already working on his next plan. So then you look at the fights with Cody before WrestleMania with the final boss, and they got the fight. I remember watching them fighting when he beat Cody Rhodes in front of the bus, randomly showing John Cena's face. We were like, why is he fighting in front of this big bus with John Cena's face on it when he's ironically holding up them same 3 fingers? Didn't pay it any mind. And if you see in the lower left corner on the other side of that is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin was not at WrestleMania, but he has made it clear that he plans to be at WrestleMania this year. Is this another foretelling? Is this always been in the works? Had they always been trying to tell us where this is going to go? Right? He's already volunteered and said, hey, if Cody needs another hand, I'm available. I don't know. John Cena pointing at the WWE Championship. He's not even looking at Cody Rhodes. When you look at it, he's looking at that title. So we're talking about Triple H's obsession, his expertise in long-term storytelling. We've used that term so much. Am I tripping right now?
How do you explain when he was walking, that 30-minute promo of him walking, and remember he said, "Ain't you free pebbles" or something like that? Then he was like, "Rock Zero, love you, but ain't your son." Remember that whole promo?
Yeah, when he was just walking to the car.
And he walked past all those. That's my boy. But get some. What did he say? Beer and tequila. And he went past Stone Cold, but then he said, "For free pebbles," and then he said about Dusty, "Love you, ain't your son." So
that was all pre-WrestleMania, right? Who's to say? Yeah, that was all pre-WrestleMania.
No, it was afterwards.
That was after, because remember we was like, all right, what the he gonna say?
Yeah, because he's still.
Mania.
Yeah, it was after
post-WrestleMania. Excuse me, post-WrestleMania.
Yeah, this is right after Bad Blood.
Yeah, right. You're absolutely right. Post-WrestleMania. Excuse me. So what was this a foreshadowing? Was this always the plan? Did The Rock always have this ace up his sleeve? Once he realized Roman couldn't get the job done, I felt like he propositioned Cody. The night of WrestleMania, we were confused. The Rock said to him, "Listen, you and I are going to have business one way or another." He tried to buy him off. He bought him a car. He put him in a fancy locker room, brought him in all types of wines and cheeses, and he made him an offer. We didn't understand what he meant, but then Michael Cole made it very clear.
Didn't take that offer.
There you go. That's that bloodline stuff you want. That's why you gonna be caught up in this drama too.
What? I mean,
no.
You wouldn't have taken that offer?
Not if I get turned on like this. Did The Rock always have this up his sleeve? Once Roman proved he couldn't get the job done, do you think that he knew Cody was going to turn him down, or was he just all the time just being a master manipulator, pulling the strings behind closed doors, saying, "Look, if I can't get Cody, I'm going to get Cena"? Or did he say, "You know what? I don't think Cody's going to budge"? He always had a backup plan, because you heard what Triple H said with Seth Rollins. There's always a plan B. What is this something that The Rock always planned, or is this an audible that he had to call once Roman Reigns lost?
I think this is a audible in our eyes, and I think it's a behind the scenes thing to say, let's course correct, because we got to do better. Like, what better way to top last year's Mania than to have this situation playing out?
I mean, this can well be on its way to top last year's moment. Not to disregard the dethroning of Roman Reigns, which was massive. But you look at that, we were like, "Oh, this is not going to get any better than this. It's going to be downhill from here." Because that Monday, everybody's like, "Oh, Cody Rhodes is boring. He doesn't have Roman anymore. He doesn't have Roman anymore. What's next?" And I kept saying, I went on multiple shows. I went on 4 sides of the rest. I think they're stalling. I think they're just. And it looks like this is what they were waiting for.
Because if Roman was to fight Cena, let's just say at SummerSlam, to save Fruity Pebbles Cena, he's already beat him. But a new Cena, can Roman actually do it? That's why I'm saying Cody's fall will be Roman's rise. Because you gotta
get the title behind the right one.
Cody been grinding for 3 years straight. He might be ready for a break.
2.5.
I'm saying since he came back. Think about it. Since he came
Let
back,
him live.
He been whoa in every city, every
He couldn't lift one of those arms for about 6 months.
There you go again, yo.
What? Am I wrong? He couldn't when he tore that pec. And I'm not making fun of him. I'm telling the truth. That's why I said 2.5.
Yeah, I mean, he did tear that pec, but he did so much.
Yes,
he did so much. Like, you forgot that he was gone for that long, for that period of time.
That's what I'm saying. He might be ready for, and this is what better way to give him that quote unquote break. And I don't want to sound like I'm saying make him go away, but think about it. A new John Cena, after Mania with The Rock in
Liberty
his
gotta go to
corner.
school.
Uh,
Liberty probably get ready to go to school.
I
Don't
mean,
try to do
he
that.
might. He,
You
Might
got
miss
a
school.
baby face. So Cody, you
yeah,
right.
you got his replacement, or you got the biggest star in Raw that can take over and sell the merchandise to give Cody that break. Because as soon as Cody come back with the CW jackets instead of his his Homelander jackets, he'll be ready. He's gonna be a little bit more gritty. He's gonna be ready to do something else.
Sprinkle a little bit of bloodline in that, throw some, the final boss got to go pay Jay a visit
As the world champion.
So here's my question: if John Cena, and we're gonna finish this off with John Cena, I promise. We're almost there. As people literally start coming in, it's crazy, right? If John Cena does not get the job done, does this finally lead to Cody and Rock? Does The Rock finally go, okay, fine? Roman could get it done. Bingo. Cena couldn't get it done. I got to handle you myself. Does it eventually lead to that? I don't want to keep saying every WrestleMania because Rock and Cody is a WrestleMania match, but it's like, come on now, The Rock's not getting any younger, and the longer he doesn't wrestle. Oh, I keep forgetting about SummerSlam.
Yeah, we got 2 nights this year. The first year is 2 nights.
And where's it again?
MetLife.
Right,
Oh,
it's in New Jersey. I'm just saying.
Hmm.
I think that's why I say Cody's fall. And who's to say Cody and Rock can't main event one night, and Roman and Cena main event the second?
Oh,
why are you so convinced that Cody Rhodes is going to lose this championship?
Because your hero has to fall to the villain. There's no reason they put so much emphasis on John Cena right now for him saying I'm going after number 17. Because remember, he said I'm going to shake the person hand, right? He's already done that. Cody is probably ready to hand the title over to him in some back. You know what? Because Cena, quote unquote, deserves it, right? His last year.
He doesn't deserve
and then
anything.
You think about it. But wait a minute. And then you got to think about it. We still got matchups that can be in his farewell tour that John Cena can go out on. You got Rey Mysterio. You got CM Punk. You got Seth freaking Rollins. You got a Finn Balor. You got all these people that you can put up in contendership so he can, I don't want to say not put over, but what's the word I'm looking for? Show his dominance for Roman's rise to be prominent. Because Roman's going to take it from him.
I'm still trying to figure out why you guys are so convinced that Cody Rhodes is going to lose. Because what if it's not the same thing as last year? Where it's like, once again, think about it. And this is my theory. Here we go. We talked about it. That everybody kept saying Cody Rhodes is boring. And then you said it first, Brian H. You said, nope, that the whole babyface versus babyface is played out. Okay, all right. Let's have our, passing of the torch moment. But that's not enough to sell Mania. It'll be cool for what it is. But then they completely switched up and they was like, okay, cool. Now we have a reason to want to see this match a little bit more than just, let's see these Titans have a gladiator battle. Right. Cody Rhodes has been done dirty now. Once again, we going into WrestleMania with the odds stacked against Cody Rhodes. That's what he had to deal. That's what he had to deal with Roman. Now he's dealing with this, and it's like this is on a different level. Like he forced The Rock to go to a different space. Clearly, like that John Cena out of all the people is like and the question. And my question is, why? What made John? Now I know Cody Rhodes mentioned John Cena's name a lot. He kept saying, I want to do the John Cena schedule. I want to, all this stuff. And Cena may be offended by that, but I'm just saying.
He about to rap on. He about to cut some freestyles on Cody.
But do you guys really think we're going to get that version of? I keep asking like 3 or 4 different questions because you guys just keep pushing it.
No, not that. I mean, John Cena is always going to be a rapper at heart.
I don't think he does. I think he's going to go more corporate. Like, look, man, this is a business. I don't think he's going to go for like Dr. Thugonomics because he's a bad guy.
I don't think he'll be full Dr. Thugonomics, but I think he might have he going to have to give us one. Like, I don't think leading into WrestleMania. But then that could be the heelish thing to do.
Was he the evil brother in the Fast and the Furious? He was the evil brother in Fast and the Furious, right?
But this is actor John Cena. Don't you think if he waited this long to turn heel, he wants to do something fresh and different, not just like true. You see what I'm saying? Like maybe tap into a character that we have not seen. I don't know. I'm asking because I don't know. Like what's his rationale? Why did you do this, John Cena? Like he still hadn't explained himself. He is like, what's the problem? Who are you mad at?
He wants number 17. He wants number 17.
And he want to sit at the board. Look at the benefits that came with being a Rock's champion. Look at the room that Cody Rhodes was in. He had disrespect. And look who was in there. His childhood hero. Yeah. That's the guy everybody should be concerned about.
There you go. The speculation again. There
he broke his heart. And you know, when he oh my goodness, when he beat up R-Truth, the world's gonna be bad.
I was about to say the same thing, bro. When he beats the tar out of R-Truth, you talking about
same way
heat.
Yeah, it's gonna be worse than the New Day and Big E. So
nuclear. Are you kidding
me? So John Cena, I mean, like I said, just looking at it, him, why would he do this? Easy. He wants to sit at the board with The Rock. He wants to be at those meetings. He wants to be The Rock's champion. And he can work the stink off. He was the other guy's corporate champion. Now he gonna be The Rock's corporate champion. The final boss.
Wow. Okay, here we go. This is how we're gonna close this out. Because there's clearly more questions than answers, and we know better than to try to answer these questions this early, especially on the road to WrestleMania, especially with Triple H kind of running the show. Because right now, it's cooking right now. That's the cooking. Like, okay, what does heel John Cena look like? We've been talking about it. We've been alluding to it. But let's see if we can kind of narrow this down. What does a heel John Cena really look like? Some people like change the music. Some people said this. I said I was against changing the music. I said, why would you change the music? If people booed him before with that music, imagine that thing hits. But what does this heel run look like for John Cena? He's given us one John Cena for decades, two to be specific, but now he has a fresh chance, a fresh look. What does some people say? He's gonna go back to changing his music and being a darker guy. There's some people in my regard say, hey, maybe he may be a little bit more corporate. Maybe he comes out there wearing suits, you know what I mean, on some corporate team type things. But what does a heel John Cena entail? What do we get from this version of John Cena that we have not seen before? Darker images? Does he still wear the t-shirts? Does he still go to towns and have like I don't see how he can do those things legitimately and think he's going to sell t-shirts in every town like Jey Uso, knowing that he's a bad guy at this point.
Well, that's what he said though. Remember, the heel thing is to not sell t-shirts.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So is it? What version of Cena do we get? He comes out in a different color t-shirt. He comes out with the last time is now. How in whatever city he's in, this is supposed to be his farewell tour. He's supposed to be saying goodbye to the fans, and now we're just taking that completely away. Is that part of him being a heel? Like, what's the plan? It's so confusing. It's almost as confusing as EO Sky winning the world championship right before WrestleMania. But we got to move forward. We don't have time to talk about that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's so simple. I think John Cena comes out there, maybe he wears a black shirt, you know, take a page out of Daniel Bryan's book wearing a white shirt. I can see him wearing a black shirt. Or again, I could see him coming out with disrespectful terms. You damn right I sold out or something. You know what I mean?
I brought in.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. I didn't sell out. I bought in. Isn't that what Seth Rollins said?
Yeah.
What about you, the guy? What does heel John Cena look like at this point? Like, what do we get from bad guy? Like, let's talk about history. We know what Hulk Hogan was, right? It was the red and yellow, say your prayers, take your vitamins, right? And then he became Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And he became a completely different entity, new look, new face, new attitude. You know, and he told you, I steered your kids down the wrong path, down the right path, but now you have the audacity to boo me. All you fans can stick it, brother. All you fans are just like this trash being thrown in the ring. Like Hogan's thing was you same thing. You booed me. I led you guys down the right path for years, and then you guys turned on me. So this is what this is about. What does a heel John Cena look like? Is it completely different from what he's given us? What if he comes out there wearing tights? Would you guys be mad?
Yes. Yes. Because we don't have the prototype anymore, and it's not ruthless aggression. I think that we have to get another version because think about every time somebody's heel turn is effective, everything changes. So when they go back to that face or they go back to the person that we want to cheer, it reverts back. And I'm only saying that because John Cena was the jersey wearing, rapping bad guy, right? Then he started putting
Mhm.
on the bright colored t-shirts, except for
Wait, man,
the
don't
black
forget,
shirts. And
don't forget his military phase.
yeah, that's true. So I feel like he has to do something, but I think it's going to be a good mixture of current Cena and because, like, let's call it what it is. Are the kids upset that he's a heel, and are the people that grew up watching him just waiting for okay, what's going to be next? Because the nostalgia of him, people want to see. Like for instance, people are loving the final boss because we grew up with The Rock. We grew up with the corporate champion. We caught up with the Hollywood Rock. We grew up and we've been there rocking with him. So are people still just waiting to see what's going to be next? So I don't think it's going to be something dramatic. Like he cut his hair, he's wearing tights. I think it's just going to be a different feel, as
Mhm.
in the music, the
Mhm.
attire will be darker, or it will be more heelish in nature. I don't think we see a bright blue shirt. We might see a navy blue shirt. We
Mm.
don't see a pink shirt. We just might see black. You know what I mean? I think we go that way unless he leans all the way in and say, "No, I'm still John Cena. I'm just doing what I need to do. You
Right.
know, I'm doing what's best for me. And what's best for me is to get that 17 World Championship."
Yeah.
Which he proclaimed would be best for business. Of course, we don't have time to even try to break all this stuff down now, but we're just taking what we have as far as what has happened so far, and we're gonna slow walk this road to WrestleMania. This has got to be. Was it crazy like this last year? I don't remember it being this crazy. It was nuts already just because of the bloodline stuff, but that was singular. This seems insane right now. Like I don't even
Well,
know what the heck is
it
going.
was crazy too because you still had Drew and Seth Rollins, and Seth
Yeah.
Rollins, Drew telling him stay focused, and then CM Punk was hurt, and you knew he was gonna find a way, and then you kind of knew Damian was,
Seth Rollins, I want to be his shield. I'll be your shield.
yeah,
That was the big thing.
but he had a stacked deck against him because Cody
Yes,
Rhodes.
yes,
He
yes.
did not. He had an
did.
equal footing. That's what it did. And as I say this idiot comes up on my TV, the Undertaker, who was the reason that we lost the championship in the first place.
The locker room sheriff. He was there to serve justice as he did. Thank you, Deadman.
Oh wow,
Thank
he
you,
gonna be
Deadman.
in NXT next week.
Oh boy, he's probably recruiting because I think they got another season of LFG coming out. I heard Michelle McCool was supposed to be replacing Mickey James for the next season, but
Oh,
yeah, I don't know. Mickey James might be doing something else. Who knows? I can't keep up with this, but we are on the road to WrestleMania. John Cena, I think we're looking forward to SmackDown this Friday so we can figure out what's really going on. I'm assuming he's going to show up. He may say something. He may say something. He may not. We don't know. All I know is that Netflix is making a ton of money with Raw, and now they're going to send everybody to USA on Friday so we can figure out what's going on with this whole situation. Cody Rhodes might end up being the biggest baby face in the history of this business because of heel John Cena. Because if he can overcome these insurmountable odds, it's going to send him into the stratosphere. People won't call this boring. Now, what comes from it, who knows? Stone Cold Steve Austin's in pretty good shape. He's looking good. I think he's ready to come back. But until then, until Stone Cold comes back, follow us on all our social media platforms at WrestleRump. Subscribe to our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube at youtube.com/WrestleRump. Also follow Championship Culture on Instagram at Championship Culture _ For that show, remember every Tuesday at 8 p.m. on youtube.com/WrestleRump. You can catch Championship Culture with Brandon the Guy and super producer Brother Hugh, not to mention Break It Down Friday. Keep It 100 is always posted when it goes up on our YouTube channel. And if you have seen the latest clip, if you watch the full interview that he had with Miss Alundra Blayze Medusa, go to our YouTube channel and check that out. He's also got some Patreon content that's up there. So he slid it up there. I saw it. I noticed it.
Realness got some new stuff too that he trying to act like he's not gonna say nothing about. But okay.
Do I got new stuff?
King size kicks.
Oh no. See, that was just a project. That's okay.
Oh, okay. You know,
See-
you just not gonna say nothing about it.
No, because if I do, like the expectation might go to the roof, and I can't handle that right now. And you know whose fault it is?
Oh.
It's Triple H's fault because Triple H has a lot going on, and I'm trying to stay focused for WrestleMania, especially now that I'm not going. I'm like, man, this is going to stink. Brother Hughes also upset because there's a good chance Stone Cold might show up to give The Rock one last stunner, and he won't be in the building to witness it, just like me. So we got to figure this out.
Hey,
But-
here's the thing: drop some, love in the super chat and send us to WrestleMania.
There you go. Thank you. Donate, please. Now we can afford to do that now, and trust me, then you'll see me out there with cut off Wrestling Room t-shirt sleeves. Well, I made it, and who knows what may come after that. But until then, we got to let you go. We appreciate you rocking with us. We appreciate listening to the conversation and helping us get to the bottom line as to what John Cena turning heel really looks like, where we're headed as far as WrestleMania is concerned. The final boss, Cody Rhodes, Travis Scott is working real stiff, all that and much more. But until then, we are out of here. Thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Stay wrestling fans. I don't know. We got to find something. We got to find something cool to say at the end of the show. So we out. Peace.
Houston, we have a problem.
For all exclusive shows and bonus material, subscribe to our Patreon channel at patreon.com/thewrestling_realm. You can watch all of our Wrestling Realm content anytime on youtube.com/thewrestling realm.